We have a guest today. Everyone say hello to Darren from Better Name Pending, the guy that actually knows how to be funny and make interesting skits.
That may be something of an overstatement, but hello.
Well, let's get the show on the road.
Alright, let's see. Zigit, and I'm going to be terrible with the names. Zigit13 asks, what got you into Warframe?
I looked up good free games on Steam and found Warframe on the list. I tried it, had fun, and the rest is history.
Tyranalactio asks, what made you create the best weapons for each mastery rank, and could you update them in each balance patch? And is it currently up to date?
I never made such a thing. What I made was recommended weapons, not the quote-unquote best. Those two are completely different things. As for the reason, I looked up recommended weapons on YouTube and didn't find anything good. Then asked people in the region chat, but that didn't give me any satisfactory answers either. So I decided to test everything so I can tell everybody else which weapons are statistically worth trying and which are probably not. When it comes to keeping it updated, I assume you mean new weapons that get added every major update. There is some hope for it, but I wouldn't promise anything. But I'll tell you this much. The new calculator that I'm developing no longer requires me to enter stats by hand and will probably be much more scalable and flexible. So there is some hope. You can follow my Twitter or join my Discord server if you want to be updated on that front.
But is it up to date as of right now?
The weapon recommendations are still good and the builds are most likely still the same, but the numbers are no longer accurate on their own. But they're probably still accurate for comparing weapons.
The Androxus asks, what is your favorite car?
My favorite car is the street car, you know? This thing.
Winston Edwards asks, and I cannot legally say this, hold on. Why is the unofficial mascot of your channel, and what led you to analyzing the game?
When I started doing 3D, I needed a character, but as you may or may not know, making an original and good character is unbelievably difficult.
Yeah.
So I needed a stand-in till I became good enough to make my own. And Nezha was, and still is, my most used Warframe, so it was an easy pick. I analyzed the game because I want to see what works and what doesn't. What makes a good game mechanic and what holds the game back, since my eventual goal is to make my own game. And I actually analyze the game a lot more than what my content would suggest. But I don't talk about it because I don't think a lot of people will like it. At least it wouldn't fit in this channel. Whenever I kickstart my second channel, then I might talk about it there.
You Renegade asks, what are some of the rarest mods you farmed without spending platinum?
The hardest one was Condition Overload. Back in the old days, the only enemy that dropped it was Drakkar Butcher, which had a 0.02% chance to drop it. I farmed it of course, and then years later I got 7 more of it by just maxing out my standing with Entrati in Deimos.
Alp Kestrel asks, how old are you and what's your favorite Warframe?
I will be 24 soon. And a favorite Warframe is hard to pick, but if I had to, I would say Titania. Link in the cards if you want to know more.
Will Piper asks, any thoughts why you don't get nearly enough attention?
What you are misunderstanding is the fact that I don't make videos for short-term views. If I wanted that, then I would probably end up like the people that keep talking about the best this or the best that. But I actually make videos to learn new skills. That has been the idea behind this channel from the very first video. I learned video recording, video editing, then audio recording and editing, then started on 3D and later programming, just to name a few things.
The Leo Show M asks, what do you think makes a good game and what are your favorites?
A good game, in my opinion, is a game that is fun for the player. That is the first and most important factor of a good game. I could say more than that, but I would regret it, because I'm not qualified to talk about it, given the fact that I haven't made a fun game just yet. As for my favorites, if you knew me, you would know I have the memory of a goldfish, and thus can't remember much. But if I had to give you an answer, it would most likely be Control by Remedy Games. As far as I can remember, the story, the music, the combat mechanics, and so much more of that game were on a level that completely caught me off guard. but I haven't played every game there is, and I don't plan to. So a recommendation is the most you can call it.
Twilight of Apprentice asks, do you use frames like Equinox? And if yes, how do you use her?
I used her a lot back in the day, not so much nowadays though, since she's too good at her job. I don't find what is practically the baby mode of Warframe for some missions a lot of fun. As for how to play her, I made a video on that just for you. And that concludes all the questions. If by some miracle you're not already subscribed to Better Name Pending, there's a link in the description, so check it out.
Yeah, I don't do much nowadays though. Now I only organize illegal conclave esports and sell funny green cats. But thanks. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining me today. And that's all. So I'll see you guys next time. And bye bye.
Now you don't really need to add the link in the description thing. Really, no. I'll just say, like, okay, bye.